Nomadic Fanatic. He's not hiding very well. What's up, everybody? I hope everybody had a good Christmas. Yeah, we're supposed to get some wintry weather. They're talking about some snow and some freezing precipitation. It's about 2 o'clock here in the afternoon at the time of this recording, and so far nothing yet. I don't think we're, in my opinion, I don't think we're going to get any snow out of this event. I do think we are going to get the frozen stuff, so we shall see what happens as the day progresses. So let's go on with the tater, but we will start with Diana. So while Diana is going through things at the Callie house, Tater is hiding in plain sight and working on Tater Acres. Yeah, he doesn't hide very well. I'd like to play hide and go seek with him. It'd be pretty easy, even for a blind guy. Diana's sorting through her mother's belongings and she's getting rid of some things. She's donating some and trying to sell some other stuff. As she stated earlier in another video, previous video, she has this big property tax thing, and she's trying to get some side jobs and sell stuff to get the money for that property tax. Meanwhile, Tater is at the place he said was too cold to be during the winter. He is at Tater Acres, that's right. Just like he said, he hated Quartzsite and wasn't going back. Well, we see how that turned out. He is where he said he wouldn't be during the winter. He says he realizes that Quartzsite was not what he needed. I said that before he even went there. But hey, we all know that. He said he needs quiet and not that hectic party spot. That is Quartzsite. Well, at least where he hangs out. Well, we are all very aware of why he left Quartzsite. If it wasn't for his drunken escapades, we all know he'd still be there. He wouldn't have left. The guy with the big blue bus and trailer, giant flags flying, a big tent, and, well, everything but a big neon arrow pointing to his camp, he had to leave because of all the madness that went on, that he was in the middle of. So as everyone makes claims of running from the law and hiding from a warrant, he is hiding in plain sight. He is at Tater Acres playing that he's an off-gridder. That's right. He's just wandering around right there. Here I am. Now, at first, he was somewhere in a desert setting when he first left. It was a large open spot there was cactus and some vegetation, and then there was mountains off in the distance. It was the bus with the trailer and the pick-em-up truck. It was all right there in a big old row. They were all lined up. Now, there were some that said, oh, he wasn't in the desert. He was at a campsite, and blah, blah, blah. Well, he may have been after that, but yeah, he was definitely in the desert somewhere. He could have went to a campsite for a day or so, but then he has stuff now. It's at his friend's, or I say Kevin's place, is my guess from the looks of things. So the bus and the motorcycle and all that stuff is at a friend's house while he takes the truck to Tater Acres. So I'm just going to say that if he's running and hiding, as many are adamant about, he is doing a piss poor job of it. You know, he's no longer filming in a way to hide his location. He actually comes right out and tells you, yeah, well, I'm here. He shows you and tells you where he's at. But let's be real. He has to post videos. It's his money stream. What's he going to do? Put on a cat hair covered shirt and go punch a time clock somewhere? No, he's going to post videos. He has to. Well, one thing with the new land, we do get a break from here at 7,000 feet. Now it's the White Mountains. The White Mountains. That's right. Here's the White Mountains. The White Mountains we get every 30 seconds now instead of 7,000 feet. Tater says it hasn't snowed yet in the place where he expects to be snowed on and have bad weather. And, well, we all know all you got to do is just wait because the bad weather gremlin, yeah, he's going to summon the shit weather in soon enough. So yeah, guaranteed wherever Tater is, there's going to be historic, record-breaking something or other. Now, surprisingly enough, he usually doesn't mention things like this, but he actually mentioned Adam Nawu's passing and did a little thing and showed some pictures of the two of them. And I find it a bit puzzling that he did that, but never once mentioned his good buddy Kevin with all his surgeries and stroke and his current situation and all. Never a word, but he does talk about Adam Nawu. I don't know. It just a side note, I guess, but I had to mention that. So basically what we're getting is a repeat of Taterlands. Eric has to start clearing a driveway in preparation of getting his big blue behemoth there. He has to clear his moon rocks. He's got moon rocks everywhere. I mean, it is definitely a lunar landscape for sure. But Zen Tater tells us some hippie bullshit about his porous moon rocks shedding negativity and that they mean rebirth. And they have just this calming effect on our now Zen Tater. We already went through all the clearing the land, trimming trees, getting a septic, moving in sheds, setting up solar, and blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. I wonder if he thinks this do-over will make good content and keeps people's interest and attention. I don't know. What do you think? Leave me a comment. Do you think that this is going to hold the attention of even the faithful Tater worshipers? I don't know. It's going to be a whole lot of the same old redo of Taterland. And we still don't know why he sold that after all the promises of letting us know. We then get the rundown of needing a way to get rid of this trash and get water and dump his tanks and all the stuff that he needs to do. Now, we remember the bridges that got burnt during that whole trash collection fiasco because, Tater has to be Tater. And if things don't happen exactly the way he wants, what time he has to bitch and complain, even though he's Mr. Zen Tater now. And word gets around, even though these, companies may be competitors and some of them probably aren't, they'd have their little areas. They talk and they know the bridges that were burnt and they know how Tater is. As little Eric tries to convince everyone that the change in plans was his idea and it wasn't made for him by his poor behavior, he starts trimming trees. Well, that doesn't last too long because, Tater's chain, it got dull, and he said he can't even cut through these little branches on the little trees that he's trying to trim back and lollipop and all the other good stuff. Well, if you keep your chain out of the dirt and off your moon rocks, you should be able to cut all day. And I know a little bit about chainsaws. The one I was on one of the Sawyers in the wildland firefighting crew, and I also had a sawmill business. Now I have felled trees before, but with the sawmill, you definitely buck a lot of logs, and most of them are laying in the dirt. So you learn how to keep your shit out of the dirt. And yeah, if I can cut through oak and walnut all day long and big logs, he can cut that little shit. So with the chainsaw down, Eric moves his attention to clearing the moon rocks, and he has to do it by hand. So he gets a start on his driveway layout, and he gets to picking and throwing, and he's moving his little moon rocks around. He then cuts to his setup at what appears to be Kevin's, as we discussed earlier. Now, he talks about having to rough it while he gets his land all developed and ready to go. All along now, remember, he's being very, very calm and zen.
Figure out, I've got the truck, so I can just pop empty propane tanks in the back of the truck, go fill them up in town. It's going to be okay. We're going to rough it a little bit for a couple months until we get my property completely settled, but we're going to get there. It is warm.
It is warm. Yeah, he's got his little heater set up going in there. But yeah, a lot of people, they fall for his on-camera antics and his zen now. They find it so hard to believe that he's not calm and happy. They just cannot fathom dear little Eric not being the kind, generous nomad, just living his best life. Now, Diana just recently is telling her people to give Eric some love. She says he really needs it right now. If he is so happy and the negativity is being erased by his moon rocks, why the need for the sympathy and the love? Most of us know that Eric is a mess off camera. He often flies off the handle. He rage emails and comments all the time. A lot of people have dealt with his rage. He regularly scolds his own audience. He berates females. He spoke horribly about Lola and others. He gets annoyed by people when they film in public places, and he's in his little Disney setting, and people everywhere, and they happen to walk by while he's filming. He gets all upset about that. It's right there on his channel, on his videos. He chastises business when they don't do exactly what he wants, and they don't operate the way he thinks they should or he wants them to. If they have weird hours or they don't allow him to film, he has to fly off the handle and talk negatively. And he regularly needs Kevin and a few others to, as he says, talk him down or talk him off the ledge, because he gets all crazed and in his head about things. So our little tater says he couldn't wait to leave Quartzsite. He went back and raved how it was the perfect place for him, and that's where he wanted to be. He said Tater Acres was too cold and the weather was too harsh to work there in winter. So he swiftly left Quartzsite and is at Tater Acres. Now, Eric may try to claim that this is all due to his spontaneous nature. He wants you all to believe this was all his choice after some deep contemplation. We know the truth. We may not know exactly what happened, but this we do know. Something happened that made Tater pack up and get the hell out of Dodge with a quickness.
It's over, Johnny.
He took the essentials and left the rest behind for people to watch and for him to retrieve at a later time. He left all his friends and his drinking buddies. He left the place he claimed was perfect for him just days before. He was bragging about the great weather, and he just wanted to be there more than any other place on the planet at that time, just a few days before. Now, he's roughing it in the place he said he didn't want to be until spring. He didn't make the choice. The choice was pretty much made for him. Well, maybe in a roundabout way, his actions made the choice for him. Now we have Diana. She wants to move to Tater Acres. Eric's already there. The two must have gotten themselves in quite the bind if they are so desperate to abandon all their plans to be in a place that they both said they weren't prepared to be yet. And yes,
that's my opinion!
What we do here is go back.